On one hand, we're building the capacity of the energy sector at the base level. On the other hand, we're also, in alignment with our commitment to sustainable development goal as an organization. In India, we are skilling people with the aim of getting them jobs, and there is very less focus on entrepreneurship.
So today we have with us Miss Manisha Singh, GM and Head CSR South Asia at Schneider Electric. Ms. Singh brings with her over 14 years of diverse professional experience in CSR, social enterprises, and strategy consulting in the development sector. In her past roles, she has managed incubation and funding to social enterprises, impact investment, and strategy consulting. Under her leadership, the Schneider Electric Foundation is leveraging a skilled workforce to bridge the energy gap. Ms. Singh, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you, Yamini. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, just to begin with, you want to understand a little bit about your personal and professional background and what got you to Schneider Electric.
Uh, so I'm an engineer and management professional, and almost half of my work experience lies in banking and financial domain.
Mm-hmm.
But post my MBA, I wanted to do something meaningful. And that's when I landed upon this opportunity to lead India operations of a social enterprise. It was a New York based social enterprise. And that got me interested in the sustainability in the CSR space. So in past 7 to 8 years, uh, I traversed through my journey in this space, and here I am with Schneider Electric. Schneider Electric, I got interested in Schneider Electric because it's a world leader in sustainability, not just through their business offerings, but also because they walk the talk. Yeah. And they have employed sustainability in the it exists in the very DNA of the company. And they're doing very serious CSR, not just in India but across globe wherever they have presence. So it's very inspiring and encouraging to be a part of Schneider family.
That's great to hear, ma'am. So now you're a crossover from the corporate to the development sector, if I'm not wrong. And how was that experience for you when you just went to the entire opposite of the spectrum?
It has been a quite interesting experience and a good one, I must say. While with no, with all due respect to the corporate industry, I think it actually helped me, having a corporate background as well as, management education. It helped me in employing, the best of the industry in the social sector, because when I joined, I did face, to be honest, some problems because the social sector works, development sector works in a little different way, and there's a lot of emotional involvement also along with, like, nobody thinks, just from the business or profit and loss point of view. Yeah. So yes, there were problems, but eventually I was able to get the best of both the worlds and say excel in this domain.
That's absolutely wonderful to hear, ma'am. So now talking about Schneider Electric, I mean, it's an energy company. And traditionally, when we think of, energy companies doing CSR, it's always about, the environment or sustainability. So what has prompted Schneider in particular to venture into this arena of skill development?
So actually, the two things are not very disjoint. If we just see it, it made a lot of sense for us because see, a skilled workforce is imperative for the success of any industry, including ours, which is energy, automation, and management.
Hmm.
So keeping same in mind, we decided to skill the workforce, unemployed youth at the bottom of the pyramid,
Hmm.
with necessary, skills to be employable in this industry. So it makes a lot of sense for us because on one hand, we're building the capacity of the energy sector at the base level. On the other hand, we're also in alignment with our commitment to sustainable development goal as an organization, to the SDG 1, 2, and 7, no poverty, zero hunger, and decent work and economic growth.
Hmm.
And also being the world leader in energy automation and management, we
Hmm.
are able to employ best of the knowledge and best of the world class equipments to provide best possible vocational training to these youth
Hmm.
in our field.
Yeah. All right, ma'am. That's absolutely great to hear. Now, jumping into the specifics of the programs that you offer, how has the Schneider International Energy Training Program enhanced employment opportunities in India?
So yeah, we have this program in more than 60 countries, training program, and it has actually helped us bring best of the industry practices, lots of learnings in different countries, and employ them over here in India. So therefore the training model that we have currently is it has matured to quite an extent. um, for example, we have a very structured approach to training here. It's not just setting up training centers.
Hmm.
So it's a full-fledged um, ecosystem that we are trying to build in terms of training infrastructure. So we have around 300 training institutes
Hmm.
across globe with our across India with our partners. Then we employ, say, best of the equipments for training. So there is a lot of emphasis on practical training, and which is our USP as well. And also we are to give best of the training, the trainers also have to be trained well. So we have established our own train the trainer facilities in
Hmm.
partnership with government. The first one came in Karnataka, and we're building two more.
All
And
right.
so our experience in different countries have helped us mature the training.
Hmm. That's great, ma'am. And in terms of, like you spoke about partnerships and how you've partnered with different organizations, focusing on your partnerships with the government, how has Schneider Electric been able to support the Skill India mission that the government is pioneering?
So we are very much aligned to government on the Skill India mission in more than one way.
Hmm.
We are supporting them not just as our CSR offering, but also as business offering.
Hmm.
So we have a one full-fledged business line uh, of didactic instruments where we provide best of the, or I would say, customized training equipments to various institutes, colleges, polytechniques, ITIs across India.
Hmm.
And at the same time, through CSR, we have partnered with various governments, both at central and state level, various government nodal agencies, and ITI institutes, NSDC,
Hmm.
at various levels for training centers, for train the trainer facilities, for center of excellence. So out of 290 skill training centers that we have across India, many of them are with government ITIs. And we continue to give importance to government ITIs, and we're going to have more and more skill training association with them. At the same time, our center of excellence is the one that I spoke about, one in Bangalore, was built in partnership with Karnataka government.
Hmm.
And we are coming up with another one in Cuttack, which is again in partnership with uh, Orissa state.
Mhm.
And then even at central level, we are coming up with a center of excellence for training of assessors and trainers in electrical trade and solar trade, in partnership with Power Sector Skill Council, NSTC, Ministry of Skill and Entrepreneurship Development India, and Ministry of Education France. So that's an ambitious project, and we are just at the last leg. We're almost, done with it. So really looking forward to it.
I'm sure we look forward to what the outcome of that project will be. And I think now that
Absolutely.
skill development is becoming such a national priority with the Atmanirbhar movement, it's becoming even more important for these public and private partnerships to engage with each other. So now I'm talking about,
Absolutely.
the pandemic that we are in and the emergency pandemic response. How is Schneider Electric, responding to the COVID difficulties for their beneficiaries?
So, in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic response, we launched a global campaign called Tomorrow Rising campaign.
Mhm.
And there are three parts to it: respond, resilience, and recovery.
Hmm.
Respond was our immediate response, under which in India we supported 10,000 unemployed electricians who went unemployed because of lockdown and other problems in recent past. We provided them financial assistance. Then we provided reliable power to 10 hospitals, which are located in 10 COVID hospitals, which are located in remote areas.
Hmm.
And also, also we provided some amount, 5 crores to Prime Minister Relief Fund. As a part of resilience, our employees have jumped in, and they have jumped in because now when all the most of the training institutes are shut, so they are keeping the learning on by providing digital trainings to our students. And for recovery phase, we are now changing the way we do the training, and we are focusing more on digital. So we are doing our groundwork by developing the whole curriculum in digital media.
I'm now talking about, following on from the COVID pandemic and the e-learning movement that has come about. What is the challenge that you would face, especially with such a practical trade such as yours, for something like that to go digital or to be, featured online? So, what are the certain challenges with doing that?
Yes, it is actually extremely challenging for training in our kind of trade, where lot of learning happens on the ground when you actually work on the equipments, especially when you're dealing with electrical equipments.
Hmm.
So nevertheless, we are trying to digitize our classroom training content, and we are also trying to build videos of the practical training. At the same time, it is a fact that we cannot do away with the hands-on practical training completely.
Hmm.
So we will have to go for a hybrid model, which is a mix of a digital and brick and mortar model. And it will be difficult to go 100% digital in our trade, especially.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely right. And I think we'll all look forward to how, Schneider Electric will really come up with such a hybrid model for training. Now,
Absolutely. We'll be soon launching our YouTube channel, where we will have all videos, practical and classroom session trainings of the whole curriculum that we teach.
I've actually quite enjoyed the Tomorrow Rising web series, which I had the chance to have a look at. And I must say, it's quite an interesting this thing, to look at the person's entire lifestyle and how the skill training is really not just training in its essence, but a means to a certain livelihood for that person. So I think definitely kudos to Schneider for
Absolutely.
really, bringing that across.
Thank you
Now,
so much.
thank you, ma'am. Now
I
look.
would say thanks to the our global foundation, which is based out of France,
Mhm.
Paris, which started this campaign and kept all the countries motivated
Yeah,
throughout the campaign to do their best and to do um, whatever you can do, to help out people.
definitely, ma'am. So now looking forward to the future, what is in store for the Schneider Electric Foundation when it comes to skill development in the future?
Yes, there are a lot of things that we're looking at for future. There's no doubt about it. One is that although we are committed to providing training in the energy domain as a policy, but at the same time we are looking at diversifying our skill training within the energy domain,
Hmm.
because there is enough and more scope within the energy domain.
Yeah.
So we are, for example, so we are looking at future skills. We are looking at greater specialization. One way is new skills. So we are in process of establishing a center of excellence for training of entry level professionals in data centers. Data centers is an industry which is growing um, with 25% CAGR. So there is a whole lot of scope for people to be employed in this industry. This would be India's first dedicated training center for this trade.
Okay.
And we will be looking at many more such new trades for skilling. Secondly, we are planning to provide or say we give our electricians students a career path in electricity trade. So
Okay.
currently, as I mentioned, we have 300 basic electrician training centers.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are also looking at the further specialization, which could be home automation, industry automation, all the building automation. So we are developing a curriculum for which we're calling advanced training module, and which we will be introducing with primarily with the government ITIs
Hmm.
for second level of skilling
Yeah.
for electricians.
Definitely, I think that's very important to focus on upskilling and reskilling, especially in the state of the world that we are in right now. And it's great to see that Schneider is really embracing that and going forward with it. So now
Thank
for
you.
the last question for the interview. You've worked in skill development for quite many years now. And what do you think is the one thing that is really missing in the skilling ecosystem in India, and how can we overcome that?
Basis my experience, what I felt is that in India, we are skilling people with the aim of getting them jobs, and there is very less focus on entrepreneurship. Whereas there is a lot of scope for the same skilled person to become self-employed, and not just become independent, but also employ generate further employment.
Mm-hmm.
So we have especially like from my experience in Schneider Electric. In fact, even we haven't mastered this art. So uh, I will admit that on one hand we are training around 20,000 youth every year in this trade, electrician and solar trade. We are developing hardly 500 entrepreneurs per year. So you can see the gap. So we're trying to build that gap, and we're trying to inculcate or encourage or motivate our students towards entrepreneurship. So we are also building an entrepreneurship focused training center, so that more and more people generate jobs for themselves as well as for others. We have a very beautiful success stories coming in from our electricians, where one of the electricians who is a pass out of our own training center, has employed 10 more, electricians from the subsequent batches.
Hmm.
So we can have many more such success stories, and we are working towards that.
You're absolutely right, ma'am. In entrepreneurship is now becoming such an important skill that we need to somehow find a way to integrate that into existing skilling curriculum. And we look forward to Schneider doing that. So that brings us to the end of
Absolutely.
our interview, ma'am. Thank you so much for being a part of it. It was absolutely wonderful hearing about what such a big energy leader like Schneider is doing in the field of skill development. And we are looking forward to see what the future holds. And we wish you all the best with all your projects. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Yamini. It's a pleasure being associated with CSR Box, and thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.